Jason, who played at Wigan, of course, in their first lot of great years. Now with Halifax, now of course with Salford. Nathan McAvoy, who is a very, very promising youngster. Scott Naylor, Scott Martin and Phil Ford, who played Bradford Northern, Leeds, Wigan, Warrington. A man who can score tries from anywhere on the park. And the halfback Sam Panipper and Steve Blakely, so no player coach Andy Gregory. David Young, who played for Leeds, Mark Lee, Cliff Eccles, Phil Forber, who was a St Helens man, Richard Webster, who's a Welshman, and Mike Gregory, who has of course skippered Great Britain. The two substitutes, Darren Rogers and Andy Burgess. The Keighley team, virtually the best side we've had out all season on paper. Andre Stoop at full-back, Andy Ayres, Nick Pinkney, Simon Irving and Jason Critchley. The two half-backs, Darryl Powell and Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson, who was doubtful until the morning of the game. Ian Gately, Jason Ramshaw, Grant Dury, Darren Fleary and David Larder in the second row. Martin Wood at loose forward. And the two substitutes, Keith Dixon and Gareth Cochran. The referee, Mr. P.W. Lee, who had us at least twice last season, once against Chorley in the Cup down at Cougar Park, and once at Dewsbury on a fairly infamous night when we were defeated, if memory serves me right, by around 20 points to 2. The two skippers tossed up, both of them ironically ex-Leeds players, David Young and Simon Irving. And the kick-off about to come now from what they tell me is the biggest crowd of the season so far here at Salford. Chance of Salford, and counter chance of Cougars, and let's hope we're in for a great game of rugby league football. The shadows already beginning to come down over the pitch. The light, which was perfect at 7 o'clock, now dropping rapidly, and the floodlights in full flow. The kick-off coming now from Steve Blakely, taken by Andre Stoop. Just gives it to the forwards, and the forwards making their way to the 20-metre line. Ramshaw to Chris Robinson. Going to be some heavy tackling here, and already the first man being pulled out, I think. Paul Forber, who's rather a fiery character. Played at St Helens, and that won't be the first time he's had the wisdom of the referee's words after an early tackle. And Simon Irving going to put the ball hopefully into touch. No wind to speak of. The pitch is absolutely bone hard, and Ian Gately on the rampage. Cliff Eccles meeting him, but not until he'd made 10 yards or so, and now going to be Grant Dury, and Grant Dury virtually to the halfway line, but there's some heavy stuff going in on the tackles. Darren Fleary over the halfway line. Heavy tackles by the second row men, Paul Forber and Richard Webster. Robinson moving it to Powell. Powell looking for space, gets the ball away to Irving. Irving slips just as he's going to part to Critchley. 10 metres from the Salford 20-metre line, and the ball coming into the centre of the field. Darryl Powell looking for space, throws the ball into nose-man run. Pinkney picks it up, with the referee saying that there was a knock-on in the process. Darryl Powell apologising to Andre Stoop in particular, I think. Not the best of passes from Powell. And the first movement that the Cougars had with Simon Irving going down the touchline, regrettably he's slipping. Panipper, Stevie Hampson tackled by Andre Stoop. To the halfway line, and the atmosphere absolutely tremendous here. David Young, the next man, met by Gately and Ramshaw. This is going to be a battle of the forwards in the early stages, no question about that. And Steve Blakely moving it wide to Forber. Forber gets a good ball in. Good tackle by Nick Pinkney on his opposite number, Scott Martin. Phil Ford, who will boggle and weave all over the field, puts the kick over the top. Could be dangerous. The ball's gone loose. Ball still loose. And the referee indicating that Phil Ford put a push in, the penalty being given to the Cougars, and action at both ends already in this game. We're in the third minute of play. Simon Irving with the second penalty that the Cougars have had. Puts it into touch at practically the same place, and Jason Ramshaw to Chris Robinson. Gately. Heavy work in the forwards, as I suggested. Lee and David Young meeting Gately head on. This time it's Grant Dory. The lads had tremendous preparation from this game, and it is without question the biggest game of the season so far at Martin Wood. Looking to make space, can't quite do so as Mike Gregory read the situation, and it's Darrell Powell to the halfway line before he stopped. Good there to see Powell with confidence to have a go on his own, and equally good to see Ramshaw putting the kick into touch 17 or 18 metres from the Salford line. I suppose what we really need is the miracle of one against the head, which never happens in rugby league circles these days. And the crowd certainly is the best I've seen at Salford for a lot of years. I did radio commentary here on several occasions, and this is the biggest crowd by far that I've seen at this ground. Good play by Mike Gregory. Equally good tackling by the Cougars. David Larder and Grant Dury. Good tackle by Darrell Fleary. Stevie Hampson it was. Stevie Hampson, new lease of life. And that's good play. That's good play by Cliff Eccles, who I know Phil Larder said was the danger man in their forwards. Reckon he was playing the best of all the Salford forwards. And the head high tackle, meaning that Blakely puts the ball into touch 20 metres away from the Cougar line. Lee putting it in field to David Young. David Young well tackled. 15 metres to go for the try, and it's Cliff Eccles again having a tilt. Seen Cliff Eccles over the years and looks perhaps fitter than I've ever seen him before. Blakely moving it to Lee. Lee getting the ball away to Webster. Webster going for the try. Webster just short, loses the ball. In fact, the penalty kick has been given to Salford for stealing. And the Cougars in these early moments were just in the 6th minute of play under tremendous pressure. Blakey, not sure whether to take the tap or have a go at goal. Elects to put the ball into touch and put pressure on the Cougars line in these early stages, and it's going to be Cliff Eccles with the first tilt. Gets away from 2 tacklers, and Darren Fleary felt the impact of Eccles. David Larder likewise, but the ball coming in field. This time it's David Young. David Young held on the line. The referee insisting on people getting onside. Blakey going to move it out wide to Panapa. Panapa moves the ball out. Good switch ball. He's going to try here. No, the Cougars managed to stop McAvoy again. The ball played. Going to go on the short side. Hampson puts the kick over the top. The referee said that Hampson ran into the man. Darrell Powell it was who put the ball dead, and it's a drop out from under the posts. So the Cougars under pressure in these early stages. And the chants of Salford certainly significant louder than Cougars at the moment. Hampson back to take the ball on the halfway line. Good tackling. Critchley, who played here, the man who was in at the tackle, but the Salford boys who were rated very impressive on attack by Jason Ramshaw, who saw them last Sunday, doing well. Cliff Eccles, good tackle by Ramshaw. Salford still in possession. Blakey switching the move again to Panapa. Panapa, short ball to McAvoy. Ian Gately alive to the situation, so too was David Larder, and the referee standing over the acting halfback area, which certainly I don't like to see. And it's going to be Webster, can't get the ball away fortunately. The referee shouting held and also indicating the 6th tackle, and Gregory putting up the bomb. Andre Stoop takes it superbly, and Andy Ayres gets to the 20-metre line before he's dragged down. Bags of action in these early moments. Nick Pinkney over the 20-metre line, but unable to get the pass out. This time it's going to be David Larder again, and heavy tackling by Salford. The Cougars are going to have to take all this in the early moments. Certainly Salford fired up, and there is a Salford man hurt on the deck. Chris Robinson puts the kick down. Stevie Hampson takes it a yard in from touch. The man who's hurt is Scott Martin, the centre, and Stevie Hampson does well. Paneper just putting the ball in field. The big boy Nathan McAvoy. 10 metres inside the Salford half. Good tackle by Darryl Powell. That one on Richard Webster, who'll be playing for Wales, hopefully in the World Cup. And the ball in field, David Young I think it is. And David Young just short of the halfway line before he's tackled. A question of character, a question of strength here at the Willows. And Andre Stoop allowing that ball to go dead. And the ball acceding to his wishes and meaning that the Cougars have a 20-metre tap. Chris Robinson quickly putting it to Jason Ramshaw. Penalty kick being given to the Cougars. Jason Critchley, the man who came forward against his old team, and obviously whilst they might be having a drink in the bar afterwards, no such thing as friendship, and they would be terrible kick by Simon Irving. Stevie Hampson, good tackle by Pinkney. Certainly Irving will know only too well he should have found touch there, and Richard Webster. That kick of Simon Irving's meaning that Salford can put pressure on the Cougars. It's the big man Cliff Eccles, and the Cougars doing more than their share of tackling in these early moments. Blakey moving it out to Sam Paneper. Paneper using Mike Gregory. David Young coming forward, and the tackling still strong, still good. Lee from acting half-back, but he not making any progress there, and the sixth tackle indicated. Darren Flaherty doing well to smother man and ball, and Paneper getting it to Blakely. Blakely putting the kick through, well picked up by Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson still going forward. Chris Robinson staggering on hands and knees and goodness knows what, and Martin Wood keeping the attack going. Ian Gately, good tackling. Chris Robinson got Grant Dury there, and Grant Dury taking the short route, just short of the halfway line inside Keighley territory, and the ball with David Larder inside the Salford half of the field. The last tackle there indicated by the referee, Chris Robinson the kicker of course, and he putting a good rubber kick down. Going to go in fact dead, so that was a 20-metre tap. 10 minutes of play gone, and the score still reading 0-0, and Phil Ford for the second time with the ball. Putting it to himself. Paul Forber, good tackling. Nick Pinkney down at his ankles, can't run without his legs as the old maxim, and Paneper just moving it to David Young to Mike Gregory. Tackling on both sides, strong and fierce. Cliff Eccles. Rounds of applause for the tackling. Blakey puts up the bomb. That one way above the lights, and Andre Stoop missed the ball, and it must be a penalty to Salford. That one was miles above the lights, and certainly Andre Stoopy, who is arguably the safest handler in the game, was nowhere near the ball when it came down to earth. The ball went forward off his body, and I think it was Ian Gately who touched the ball, and the referee had no option other than to give the penalty. 12 minutes gone of this game, so Salford with the opportunity of putting the first points on the board. Nil-nil, the electronic scoreboard, which is fairly imposing to our right, showing, and it's Steve Blakely, the scrum half, about to take the kick at goal. Blakely playing scrum half in the absence of Andy Gregory, the player coach. And interesting to see Keith Dixon limbering up. The kick high and the kick good, and Salford in the lead by 2 points to 0. Certainly lived up to its billing of the battle of the top two so far this evening. The tackles being fierce in the extreme by both sides, and arguably the only chance of the evening so far for points has been capitalised on by Salford when Blakely kicking that penalty. Simon Irving with the long kick down. Will be put in field. Richard Webster, the Welshman who I haven't seen before, the man who took the ball and made good yardage. Mike Gregory, who I've seen 100 times or so, I would think, the next man. Cliff Eccles, the Salford forwards, making good yardage. Ball on the blind side to David Young. David Young, in fact, Paul Forber, my apologies, both look very similar. Should know David Young, I saw him many a time at Headingley when he played, and Panaba taking the short route over the halfway line, and the referee, Mr. Lee, just waiting for the last tackle. Lee doing well, gets it to Steve Hampson. Hampson puts the kick through, Critchley drops on it, and for a moment the ball looked to be going away from his grasp, and certainly there were 3 Salford players praying for that moment. Luckily, Critchley hung on. Simon Irving trying to get away from the clutches of the Salford guys and can't do so, and in the meantime Darren Fleury coming forward. Chris Robinson having to take the ball, and the referee indicating no knock on, the 6th tackle in fact coming up, and it's coming back to Darryl Powell, who looked a little bit in no man's land, finally got his kick in, but Steve Hampson positioned himself beautifully. Hampson over the halfway line, gets the ball in field. Simon Irving, good tackle on Richard Webster, and a knock on given, so the Cougars can breathe again, and the congratulatory nod on Simon Irving's head by Chris Robinson, fully deserved. 2-0 then, Salford in the lead, and we've 15 minutes of the game gone so far. And the ball going into the scrimmage. Well, I was saying, could a miracle happen, and it has the wrong way, one against the head. Quite how that happened, no one knows, but McAvoy, the Salford winger, has the ball. This time it's Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory, who so nearly joined the Cougars at the beginning of last season, making progress to within sight of the Cougars' 20-metre line, and David Young struggling through, despite a very hard tackle by Ian Gately. The ball to Blakely, to Panapa. Panapa got people outside him. Steve Hampson, good ball, good rugby. Steve Blakely gets the ball away. It's the stand-off half, Sam Panapa, who's stopped just short of the try line. And another good tackle coming in from Andre Stoop, the 6th tackle indicated. I just wish that the referee wouldn't stand over the acting half-back area. Try given, the try is good. Salford have scored the try, the kick over the top, inch perfect. And it's the Salford player who went through and took the ball. And it's Scott Martin, the centre, I think, who jumped up. And the Red Devils, as they turn them on the scoreboard, go into the lead 6-0. Kick over the top, inch perfect, bodies were jumping for it all over the park, and at the end of the day it's the Salford boys who get the try. And Keighley been under a lot of pressure in these first 17 minutes or so of this first half, and Salford putting points on the board. In fact, McAvoy was the man who scored the try. The kick there was by Steve Hampson, and McAvoy, the man who got the try. Blakey about to take the kick at goal. Steve Blakely just poising himself, waiting for the kick to come. The kick is good, so the Cougars 8 points in arrears, and with only one real attack on the board so far. And the game, which they knew would be hard before 7:30, getting harder by the minute. 18 minutes gone. The Cougars fans shouting their favourites on, and the scoreline reading 8-0. Simon Irving with the kick-off. Webster making progress. Mike Gregory, the next man to have a go. Already 10 metres outside the 20-metre line. Cliff Eccles. Three tackles to go, and Lee going from acting halfback. Grant Gorey stopping in, but within sight of the halfway line again, the Salford people. And big David Young coming forward. Jason Ramshaw sticks to him like glue and tackles him centre of the field. Chris Robinson reading the situation regarding the kick. The kick being taken though, and again Andre Stoop not handling it as easy. He does lost the ball. Salford are in possession, and Salford just outside the Keighley 20-metre line. The penalty kick given to Salford. Paul Forber arguing with the referee, and no question about it that Steve Blakey in the 19th minute will have another tilt at goal, but Andre Stoop didn't collect the ball first time, took it second time, the referee indicating that the ball had gone backwards. And then in the tackle, losing the ball, bit of a skirmish, which people were diving here, there and everywhere for it, but the end result, a penalty kick against Simon Irving, which means that Steve Blakely will have his third kick at goal from practically the same position, and if successful will put Salford in the lead by 10-0. Blakey then poised in the 20th minute now, and Blakey, one would think, will have no problems regarding this. And no need for me to tell you, the cheers tell you all, that Blakely has kicked another goal and that Salford are in the lead by 10-0. Simon Irving for the third time in the 20 minutes we've had so far, 21 minutes actually, having to kick off again. And no doubt Phil Larder already with a great deal to say at half-time. Certainly the Cougars need to try badly. Mike Gregory, the man who has tackled, puts the ball in field, and the blindside prop Cliff Eccles getting outside his own 20-metre area. Lee bringing it out to David Young, who's hanging out in the outside centre position. David Young looking to milk the penalty, unsuccessful as it happened, and Paniper quite content to bring people onto the ball. And in fact, for a moment, looked as though the big number 3, Scott Naylor, was going to make the break. Sixth tackle. Blakely again using that touchline side. Andre Stoop, this time taking the ball successfully over his own 20-metre line, but tackled by Mike Gregory. Gorey to Jason Critchley, who at the moment can't be enjoying his trip back to his former club. And this time it's Andy Ayres still going forward. Andy Ayres does well to get to the halfway line before he stopped. Powell taking the ball. Simon Irving. Irving going on his own over the halfway line, had Nick Pinkney inside him. wasn't able to give the pass, and Grant Dury just going straight forward. Grant Dury stretching away from Lee, but Mike Gregory getting in second tackle and stopping any hopes that the Cougars had. The kick through by Chris Robinson finding touch, but one doubts that two miracles will happen in this game. We've already seen one ball against the head as far as Salford were concerned, and certainly to have two in one game in this year of 1995 really would be asking for a major miracle, not a minor one. Salford getting the ball out. McAvoy well tackled by Daryl Powell, and the ball to Paniper. Paniper doing well. This time it's the big man Cliff Eccles. Cliff Eccles doing likewise. David Young on the charge. Grant Dury down at his ankles, brings him down. Two more tackles to go though, and the Red Devils doing extremely well. The ball out left. Is there a gap? Closed up by Martin Wood. Ian Gately also alive to the possibilities. Referee with his hand on high. The kick through ricochets off a Keighley man. Chris Robinson fortunately was there to take the ball, and the scoreline remaining 10-0 in favour of Salford. Nick Pinkney straddled by David Young, and this time it's Martin Wood. Does well to offload to Powell, does well to get it to Robinson. Robinson gives a dummy where the pass might have been the better option, but it's very easy from up here in the stand. Daryl Powell. The ball goes astray, again a knock on. Misunderstanding between Powell and Gately. Powell obviously trying to delay the pass until the last moment, and between them a bit of a hash-up mood. Salford in possession. McAvoy, who's an outstanding youngster, certainly a big boy. Andre Stoop finally dragging him down, and Andre Stoop in again at the tackle, this time on Scott Martin, the centre, but Stevie Hampson, the acting halfback, just moves it back to Paniper. Paul Forber, well tackled by Pinkney. And the ball with Gregory. Lee puts the kick over the top. Andy Ayres is going to have to be sharp. Andy Ayres picks the ball up, retrieves it in the face of pressure from Phil Ford, and gets up and plays the ball and puts it in field to Andre Stoop. "10 metres outside the Cougars' 20-metre line. David Lard is slipping. 26 minutes gone, 10-0 in favour of Salford. Ian Gately twisting and turning, but all to no avail as Paniper holds on. This time it's going to be Grant Dury, and Grant Dury looking to get the pass out, does so, gets it to Simon Irving. Simon Irving over the halfway line, but the sixth tackle indicated Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson again putting the kick down to the touchline. Stevie Hampson stopping it with his foot, then picking it up. And Darren Fleury stopping him after he'd run across the face of 4, perhaps even 5 Keighley defenders. Scott Martin making invaluable ground, and here comes this big lad McAvoy again, this time Jason Ramshaw stopping him. Paul Forber. Good stop by Pinkney, aided by Andy Ayres. And the ball to Blakely to Gregory. Gregory gets it to the big man Webster. Webster going through, can't get rid of the ball. And 2 Keighley men up very quickly, one of them Daryl Powell, the other Grant Dury. And the 6th tackle indicated. Lee looking for the ball. The tackle good, but even so gets the kick in. It will be Salford in for the try. Is it? In fact, they're held inches short of the try line. And Keighley nearly caught napping again. Nick Pinkney, this time it's going to be Andre Stoop. And Salford this time all offside, so welcome relief as far as Keighley concerned. Simon Irving taking the short tap very quickly. Jason Ramshaw getting it to Powell. Powell gets it to Larder, but perhaps his pass was telegraphed. Certainly Richard Webster read the situation. Grant Dury racing forward, and at last the Cougars making a bit of progress. Powell with men coming on. Gets the ball back to Pinkney. Pinkney does well. Nick Pinkney still going forward. Can't find the space. Certainly the Cougars desperate for a try at the moment. Penalty kick given for holding down. Panapa the man who infringed. And Simon Irving coming over in his capacity as skipper and goal kicker to tell the troops that he will take the kick at goal. 29 minutes gone, the scoreline reading 10-0. Simon Irving with what on paper looks an easy kick at goal. Directly in front of the post and around about 23-4 metres out. And certainly that spell of 6 tackles, the most imposing that the Cougars have looked. Simon Irving with the kick. Taking his time, barrage of abuse from the Salford fans. And Simon Irving missing the goal. This time it's going to be Jason Pritchard going against his old colleagues, and certainly one or two of his current friends out there, but no friends, as we've said previously, on the rugby field. Powell getting it to Pinkney. Pinkney being asked to go through the bulk of Cliff Eccles, which I would think is an impossible situation, and Jason Ramshaw going from acting halfback. Chris Robinson getting it to Powell. Powell giving the ball to Dury. Dury's got through. Dury's still going. Can he get the pass in? Dury going for the line. Dury, did he score the try? The referee has given the try. Grant Dury did so well there, and that puts the Cougars back in the game with a try that they desperately needed. 31 minutes gone, and Grant Dury scoring the try. Simon Irving to take the kick at goal, whilst behind the post is kicking out. The electronic scoreboard is flashing loud and clear and in very big letters, "Come on you Reds," which must, I think, be a little bit distracting to Simon Irving. And there are cheers and all sorts of counter cheers ringing around this ground, and the game a little bit closer to Keighley than it was. The scoreline reading 10-4. And Simon Irving again missing the kick at goal. Salford then for a change to kick off from the centre spot. And at last the Cougar fans having something to shout about. Steve Blakely kicking from the centre spot. Martin Wood picking the ball up. Jason Ramshaw at acting halfback. Chris Robinson. Jason Critchley coming through. Jason Critchley going forward, getting up to play the ball. Ramshaw moving it to Robinson, giving it to Pinkney. Pinkney finds the gap. Pinkney races through. Pinkney going for the try. Oh, he looked clear. And at the last minute there was a short tap of his ankles by Mike Gregory. But it has to be said, oh, that was a diabolical kick by Phil Ford. Chris Robinson going for the try line. The referee and toucher totally ignored that Phil Ford kick through, and the Cougars going forward. Darryl Powell having a tilt. Darryl Powell going for the try line. 6 tackle indicated by the referee. David Larder coming. Chris Robinson gets the ball out to Simon Irving. Simon Irving gives the ball infield. Mick Pinkney knocks on. And the Cougars' second best attack comes to nothing, but at least the signs are there that they're coming back into this game. 10-4 and 5.5 minutes to half time. Certainly this game being fierce and hard, and whether the players can hear it, but certainly there's a whistle going in the crowd which distracts me on occasions. And Cliff Eccles does well. 6 tackle coming up. Blakely presumably the man who'll do the kick. In fact, Lee putting it out to McAvoy. McAvoy with a short kick over the top. Beautifully taken and beautifully tackled also by McAvoy. Andre Stoop over the halfway line before David Young knocks him down. And the Ayres having a go, and the ball coming out to Martin Wood. Martin Wood with very little other to do than to go forward. Chris Robinson to Darryl Powell. Darryl Powell elects to go on his own. Lovely ball to Stoopy. Stoopy can't get the ball, does, and Ian Gately puts the ball out to the wing. It goes to Critchley from Simon Irving. Critchley going for the corner, and the Salford tacklers managing to stop him. The 6 tackle indicated. The ball comes through Robinson. Robinson puts the short kick over the top. Stevie Hampson knocks on. The ball knocked on twice. That surely has to be a Keighley advantage. In fact, Keighley had the ball through Chris Robinson. Keighley trying to go underground to score the try. David Larder. The ball coming to Martin Wood. Martin Wood gets the ball out. Pinkney. Pinkney is in for the try. Pinkney goes in for the second Cougar try. Good work by Martin Wood, and in the 37th minute, the Cougars coming back into this game. Well, I suppose the old cliche of the half of 2 halves certainly counts here at the Willows, because Salford took that 10-0 lead up to the 20th minute, and since then the Cougars have come back with a tremendous individual try by Grant Dury, and then a lot more pressure put onto the Salford team, and at the end of the day Pinkney taking advantage of a Martin Wood break where he got the pass out of an impossible situation and scored the try. Chris Robinson receiving treatment at the moment. Simon Irving about to take the kick at goal. 3 minutes to go. And I was talking to a neutral down below me who's come many a mile to see this game this evening, and he picked this out as being arguably one of the games of the season, and I think he might be enjoying it. In fact, I'm sure he'll be enjoying it, and certainly won't be worrying about the long drive home he has. A lot of good rugby being played here. Hard physical stuff, good open rugby, and the scoreline reading 10-8 with Simon Irving to take the kick at goal. And this time Irving does the trick, and the scorelines are back where they started at level, 10 points each, and the Cougars come back from a 10-0 deficit and arguably at that stage, Salford the better side. Great game to watch, great game to commentate on, and I'm sure that you people seeing this video will thoroughly enjoy it. Steve Blakey. Cougars outside their 20-metre area, and Darren Fleury coming racing through. Long ball to Robinson. He gets it to Daryl Powell. Good ball to Pinckney. Pinckney just couldn't escape, and there's a penalty going to be given to the Cougars here. Nick Pinckney quite wisely getting out of the way, and the Cougars players making him get out of the way. And it's going to be Phil Ford to be spoken to. And Simon Irving to take the kick and put it into touch to give the Cougars 6 more tackles. Good kick by Simon Irving. 30 metres out from the try line. Andy Ayres getting the ball infield quickly. Gately on the charge. Ian Gately short of the 20-metre line. Grant Dury the next man to have the tilt. Grant Dury scored that tremendous individual try. 5 metres inside the 20-metre area. The ball going to Robinson. Robinson heavily tackled by Forber. Dury going from acting half-back. There goes the hooter. Tremendous first half. Salford 10-0 in the lead, and Keighley coming back in the last 10 minutes to make the scoreline at half-time. Salford 10, Keighley 10. It was catching on something. Keighley to kick off in this second half. Simon Irving just indicating he's kicking to the right-hand side of the field as he's looking at it. And as if you needed reminding, the scoreline reading Salford 10, Keighley 10. Simon Irving with the kick-off. Let's hope they can put Salford under pressure in this second half. Salford getting out of their own 20-metre area in the initial stages. The ball into midfield, knock on. Daryl Powell takes the ball. That will give Keighley 6 tackles and a great deal of heart and confidence. And Daryl Powell struggling to get out of the tackle. Chris Robinson elects to go away from Andre Stoop and go on his own. This time it's going to be Darren Fleury. Darren Fleury does well, gets to the 20-metre line before he's stopped. Jason Ramshaw to Robinson to Gately. Gately turns round, back to Robinson to Martin Wood. Martin Wood looking for the break. Jason Ramshaw, his mate in travelling to training, was stood at his right-hand side, and Ramshaw going on his own. Gets the ball back to Wood, to Chris Robinson. Robinson ducking, weaving. Robinson still going. 6 more tackles, surely. Well, that certainly touched the Salford man. And Daryl Powell still going forward. Powell going for the line. Powell loses the ball. Chipped forward by Jason Ramshaw, and the referee, I think, has given a knock-on. certainly from our vantage point, when Chris Robinson gained the ball, it had been touched by a Salford player and the Cougars should have had 6 more tackles. In fairness, the referee looked at the touch judge, who totally ignored him, and it's the scrum down just short of the Salford line. 10 points each. A minute of the game gone, and Daryl Powell in at the tackle. Vociferous gentleman to my left, who you might hear, obviously a Salford supporter, strenuously shouting "get him onside," and Sam Panama moving it wide. Cliff Eccles going forward, but Darren Flearley sure and sound with the tackle, and the ball going to Paul Forber over the halfway line, and did well. The 6th tackle indicated. Stevie Hampson putting the kick over the top. Andre Stoop having to take it. Going down the touchline for a moment, looked bad, but well, the referee has said that Andre Stoop was forced into touch, which is bad news as far as Keighley concerned, and in fact the penalty kick has been given to Salford. Salford going for goal. Simon Irving going over to query what the decision has been given for. The facts are that the penalty has been given, and Blakely has the opportunity of adding 2 points. Three minutes gone in this second half. 10 points each, the scoreline. Salford with the first chance of tagging on points in this second half. Matthew Foster and Ricky Winterbottom on giving the various liquid refreshment that the players have, and I rather suspect 1 or 2 instructions being given to Daryl Powell. And Steve Blakely with the kick at goal. And the kick, as all his kicks have been so far, is good. So 44 minutes and Salford go into the lead again. 12 points to 10. Confirmation on the electronic scoreboard that the goal has been kicked by number 7, Steve Blakely. Another ex-Wigan player who's making his mark away from Central Park, and Simon Irving with the deep kick. Richard Webster certainly looks now to have made the transformation from Union to League. Said at one time he was struggling, and Mike Gregory, who's always been involved with rugby league, the next man to take the ball. Daryl Powell in at the tackle on Cliff Eccles. 3 more to go, and the might of David Young coming forward and inside the Cougars' half. Pamper. Referee obviously shouted held. 6th tackle indicated by the referee. Chris Robinson trying to... Brave stop by Critchley. Critchley getting up and being allowed to play on by the referee. For a moment I thought the penalty was going to be given, but certainly a brave stop by Jason Critchley, and Andre Stoop, the next man to take the ball. Andy Ayres doing well. Gets to the halfway line before he's stopped. Ian Gately over the halfway line. Turns round because certainly the man inside him, Daryl Powell, was shielded by at least 3 defenders, and this time it's going to be David Larder. 6th tackle indicated by the referee. Chris Robinson with the hard kick through, grubber kick which finds touch, but of course the News is that the home team Salford will get the advantage of the head and ball. And Salford getting the ball. The miracle of the first half when one was given against the head, not to be repeated. Good tackle by Critchley. Onto McAvoy like a shot. Cougars having to tackle hard in midfield and trailing by 12-10. And again Blakely looking to try and find the advantage from acting halfback. The ball in field to Sam Panapa. Panapa looking for space, puts the ball in field. Darren Flaherty's away. Flaherty going for the line. Can he make it? Still going. Flaherty still going for the line and held up a couple of metres short. Did well. Got to be a quick play the ball. There's a kick through. 6 more tackles. Can the Cougars score the try? Powell to Stoop. Stoop spins out of one tackle. Can he get rid of the ball? The answer is no. Referee indicating they get 6 more tackles. Jason Ramshaw going on his own. Darryl Powell was inside him, but the ball didn't come. And the ball going to Robinson. This time, long ball out finding Martin Wood to Irving. Irving got Pinkney with him. Elects to go on his own. Can't get rid of the ball. Pinkney came on the inside, but the tactic was good and sure. And this time it's going to be Andy Ayres, is it? Short pass. Andy Ayres going. Just tackled well and truly a couple of yards short of the try line. Ramshaw from acting halfback. He scored the try, held on his back. Jason Ramshaw, so near, so close, that the referee on the spot immediately said he was held on his back. The boos ringing round from the Keighley supporters. And the scoreline 12-10 with 8 minutes of the second half gone. Andre Stoop. 5 metres away from the try line. Irving at acting halfback. Irving going on his own. Irving still turning, still going. Still that metre short. Jason Ramshaw again going in from acting halfback. Has the try been given? Again Ramshaw held on his back. Well, how desperately close can you get without 4 points being given as your reward? And Jason Ramshaw has done it twice in a minute. 9 minutes of the second half gone, and the Cougars putting pressure on Salford. Powell gets the ball away to Andy Ayres. Andy Ayres can't quite struggle away from the clutches of Sam Panapa. This time it's going to be Darryl Powell. Good tackle on Powell, that 2 metres short. Mike Gregory, was he holding him down? The referee said no, and play is allowed to go on. Robinson gets it to Stoop. Stoop turning, gets the ball to Larder. Forward pass, so the Cougars' pressure at the end of the day doesn't count, and it will be a scrum down with the advantage to Salford. At the end of the day, this could well be a question of the fittest side winning, because certainly this is a very, very fast game. Defences of both sides being put to the test, and Salford in possession. Salford coming away. Good tackling by Robinson. The ball now with Blakey to Mike Gregory. Hits the bulk of Darren Flaherty and comes to a grinding halt. End-to-end stuff here at the Willows. Salford in the lead, 12 points to 10. Paul Forbert getting inside the Keighley half, and the penalty given. The rule does say immediately your hand goes between the legs, the penalty is given, and Blakey taking advantage to put Salford on the attack. Lee to Blakey. Blakey got people running on. The first one, Cliff Eccles. Well, there's a spare ball on the park which could have distracted a few people. Richard Webster. Webster well tackled. Dury and Gately, but the ball coming out. Blakey to Panaper. And Ian Gately saving the day at the end of things after Larder and Powell had half effective tackles. Lee. Daryl Powell in at the tackle. Scrum half Blakey. Grant Dury, 6 tackle indicated. Can Keighley do as Salford did at the other end and hold them out? Ball going astray. Lee going for the drop goal, which he does very, very regularly, but that one being a soccer type shot, and the ball going dead. Simon Irving racing through. Steve Hansen certainly threw an indiscriminate arm, but the referee gave him the advantage and allowed play to go on, and Critchley getting 9 metres away from the halfway line. Grant Dury. On the halfway line, centre of the field, and the ball with Powell. Powell back to Martin Wood. Martin Wood couldn't get the pass inside, plays it to himself, goes forward. Martin Wood still going forward, puts the ball inside. Ramshaw's going for the line. Ramshaw scores the try, and again Martin Wood does the impossible. Brilliant quickness of mind, played the ball to himself, raced away, and Jason Ramshaw was at the side to take the ball and score under the post, and the Cougars for the first time in this game are in the lead. After 14 minutes of the second half, the Cougars for the first time go into the lead. Now they have to get stuck into the game. They all know that anyway without anyone telling them, and play as they can do, and certainly victory could well be there at the end of the day. But this has been a tremendously good game of rugby league. It's been hard, it's been powerful, it's been physical, been good tries, and Simon Irving emphasising that the Cougar supporters are behind the post at that end, putting the ball between the sticks, and the scoreline reading 16-12 in favour of the Cougars. And really is a massive support for Keighley around this ground. They must have brought fully 3,000 people over on what's been a beautiful day, but even so, on a midweek fixture, to bring 3,000 is a tribute to the people who support the Cougars. And the Ayres coming forward, being tackled by Panaper and Richard Webster, and the ball to Chris Robinson. Darren Frary onto the 20-metre line before he comes to a halt. Ramshaw putting the ball back to Powell. Ian Gately racing through, knocks the first man down. 8 metres away from the halfway line, desperate to get up and play the ball. Grant Dury, the other prop, over the halfway line into Salford territory. The ball coming on the blind side. Chris Robinson knocks the ball down. Andre Stoop has got to be quick. Andre Stoop picks the ball up. Why on earth he kicked, although the referee I don't think had given 6 more tackles. Stoopy putting the ball down and finding touch 10 metres away from the line. I thought for a moment the referee was going to give 6 more tackles, but when I looked at him, he had his hand held high, if I can say the 3 H's together, to indicate it was the sixth tackle, and Andre Stoop intelligently put the ball deep and found touch. Sam Paniper played for Wigan, of course, man of the match at Old Trafford in a Premiership final. And the Cougars in the lead 16-12, and we're in the 17th minute of play. Richard Webster getting up, playing the ball to Mike Gregory. Gregory gets the ball in field. Ian Gately saw the man coming. Half stopped him. Grant Dory finished the job. Halfway line. The ball to Panther. Got David Young outside him. David Young to Eccles. There's a good ball. A half tackle. Darren Flady does well to get across. And the sixth tackle indicated by the referee. And the kick, a high one, way over the floodlights. Stoop did well, under pressure from Paniper, took the ball. Then at the end of the day, Scott Naylor, the centre, was the man who went after him, but Andre Stoop knew where the ball was, made sure of it, and Jason Critchley gives the lads a bit of breathing space by running diagonally and getting over the 20-metre line. Beryl Powell trying to give the forwards, in fact it's Andy Ayres, and this time it's David Larder, no mistaking him as he goes forward. Penalty kick being given to the Cougars. David Young, the man who was penalised by the referee. And David Larder going off the field, Gareth Cochran coming on. Simon Irving placing the ball as for goal, but going for touch. Has to make sure of this one. Certainly make sure that a good kick as far as the Cougars concerned. Two balls on the park again, which is unusual for the referee to allow that type of thing to happen. And Darren Flady struggles through one tackle. This time it's going to be Grant Dory. Grant Dory still going forward. 10 metres away from the try line, playing the ball back to Chris Robinson. Robinson to Andre Stoop. Jason Critchley will have to get to acting half-back, sees the danger, gets there quickly, and it's Powell putting it to Gareth Cochran just on the field. 2 tackles to go for the Cougars. Jason Ramshaw moves it wide. Then it'll be Martin Wood. Martin Wood dodging, still going through. Martin Wood, has he scored? Just short of the try line. Ramshaw gets the long ball out. Gareth Cochran going forward, but the 6th tackle given by the referee, and Salford's line stays intact. 19 minutes gone of the second half, and the scoreline Salford 12, Keighley 16. Salford bringing it away with their forwards. Still a lot of work to be done by the Cougars out there in the middle of the park. Good strong tackle by Powell. Didn't quite affect it completely, but certainly helped. Simon Irving hurt. Knock on by Salford. There's got to be, and the referee is appalling. That was a knock on. Without question, well, we shouldn't say such things, I know, but that was without question a knock-on, and the referee totally missed it. 19 minutes to go then, and the Cougars on their own 20-metre line, but at least they have the advantage of the scrimmage. And the ball going in, but Salford putting in a big push. Chris Robinson though coming up with the ball, but not able to get the pass into Jason Critchley as he'd obviously hoped to do. and it's Daryl Powell moving it wide to Simon Irving. Simon Irving going through. Tremendous play by Irving. Couldn't quite get the ball out, and this time it's Critchley going through. Critchley struggling to within sight of the halfway line. The ball to Daryl Powell. Good short ball to Martin Wood. Martin Wood can't get the pass out, centre of the field. And the ball coming to Robinson, to Grant Dury. Grant Dury, who scored that great try. Knock on by Salford, surely. This time the referee seeing it. Quite why the Salford man, who was young Lee the hooker, had the knocking on, and Salford will have the head and ball. 18 minutes of this game to go, and the Cougars in the lead by 16 points to 12. Panepa racing through. I imagine Daryl Powell would have played against Sam Panepa in his days at Wigan, when Daryl Powell was at Sheffield, of course, and this time it's Mike Gregory. Inside the Cougars' half. Penalty kick being given to Salford. Daryl Fleury accused of lying on Mike Gregory, handing him the ball in congratulations, one can only assume, and Steve Blakely going to put the ball into touch. Salford then within 18 metres of the Keighley line, of David Young coming forward. This time it's going to be the other big man, Eccles. Salford using the forwards. Ball going blindside to Forber, and he being held up on the line. And the referee saying that this time St Helens have been held on their back. St Helens, I'm thinking of Forber playing when he'd played at St Helens, but of course he's now at Salford. So 2 disallowed tries to Keighley, and now 1 to Salford. Nearly said St Helens again. Blakey to put the ball in the scrum, and the ball, as you'd anticipate, coming out. Sam Panepa, good tackle by Keighley. Simon Irving. This time it's Mike Gregory with the ball, moves the ball out wide. For a moment the gap looked there, Naylor looked to score, but at the last minute Martin Wood managed to marshal the defenders. Blakey, 3 more tackles to go by Salford. The ball going to the left to Panepa. Panepa moving it wide. Good strong tackle. Not just a good tackle, but the Salford people lose the ball, and the referee has given a scrimmage on the 10-metre mark underneath the shadow of the Keighley posts, and there is a Keighley man hurt. Michael Barrett come on. Ronnie Barrett, his father, who's the senior physio, on the side, ready to come on if necessary. And the scoreline reading 16 points to 12 in favour of Keighley, with 15 long minutes to go. The man out, in fact, looks as though it could be Grant Dury, and Grant Dury indicating that he's okay, getting up and getting back into the fray. And certainly the Salford scrimmage putting pressure on the Cougars. They put a good push in, and Chris Robinson fooled them, I think, then by putting the ball in quickly while Salford were being reassembled. Simon Irving just making a valuable few yards. Daryl Powell up to the 20-metre line before he stopped. Getting up to play the ball, Chris Robinson wisely didn't give it to the first man up, and Martin Wood as well to struggle 10 metres outside his 20-metre area. Good work by Andy Ayres, looking strong, and this time it's going to be Ian Gately. Ian Gately, good ball to Critchley. Critchley over the halfway line, but good tackle by Panepa. The ball out to Robinson. Robinson puts the kick through. Going to be taken by McAvoy on the wing, and McAvoy racing into the centre of the field and being held up on his own 20-metre line. Steve Blakely becoming a war of attrition out there at the moment. And the ball out to the left, and this time Keighley, good ball out to the wing. Can Keighley get across? Martin Wood's got there and managed to stop the man, but there are 3 more tackles to go. Good work by Phil Ford. The ball being swept out, Stevie Hampson getting it to Panepa, moving the ball out wide. Good tackle by Irving. Panepa getting it blind. And again the Cougars in at the tackle. Last tackle coming up. The ball to Hampson. I've no doubt we'll see the chip over the top. Good kick as well. Andre Stoop takes it brilliantly. Manages to get a few metres. Looks at Steve Hampson as though to say, well, that's how you do it. But certainly that was Andre Stoop at his best, taking the ball under pressure, and the Keighley themselves under pressure. Martin Wood. Ramshaw doing well, gets to the halfway line, and in fact Ramshaw looking as though he's hurt. Mike Barrett again out there very quickly. Ramshaw being told to get to his feet, and in fact that gave time for the kicker Chris Robinson to get in position. Puts the ball straight to McAvoy. They'll have to watch this down the centre of the park, but Darryl Powell closing the entire centre up along with Simon Irving. But here come the Red Devils, as they call them in days of old, again. Clear it at the tackle. The man who's come on is Darren Rogers. Certainly been a hard physical game, going to be a lot of tired people out there. And the Cougars with 11 and a half minutes to hold on. Kick over the top. Beautifully taken. Penalty kick given. Presumably this time we'll see Blakey have the kick at goal, one would imagine. 29 minutes have gone, and Blakey, as I suggested, is being told to kick at goal. Certainly the tragedy there is that I didn't actually see the obstruction, and obviously the referee felt it was deliberate. The ironical thing is that if Andre Stoop had been allowed to play on, he'd taken the ball at speed, and I think he'd have made the break. But the referee gave the penalty for obstruction, and Blakey is about to take a kick at goal. Jason Ramshaw, after that bang, is now looking okay. The lads have reformed, had a chat amongst themselves. The magic liquid has been dispersed around the team, and Steve Blakely with the kick at goal. 10 minutes of play to go, and Blakely to take the kick, which could yield 2 points, and in fact does yield 2 points. 14-16, Keighley in the lead. Simon Irving to kick off from the centre spot. The kick going deep into the corner. Well taken by Salford. And for a moment Salford looking as though they're going to make yet another break. Pressure on the Cougars at the moment. Salford in possession with 4 more tackles to go. Sam Panepa going through. Sam Panepa inside the Keighley half of the field. The defence opened as it was with the Red Sea. Darren Rogers having a tilt. 2 more tackles to go. And the ball with the scrum half Blakey. Darren Fleury holding him down. Not too long, I hope. And the 6 tackle indicated by the referee. Lee putting the kick through. Andy Ayres just allowing it to go into touch. Be a 10-metre scrum with the Cougars to have the advantage. And the man of the match as far as Salford concerned, Paul Forber, who plays at number 11. Played for St Helens originally and did say at the beginning of this season that he wanted to play Premier League Rugby League. And a good push. Certainly Chris Robinson, I think, knocked on there. And in fact, I think the referee has given a scrum with Keighley having the advantage, but I'm not sure. Jason Ramshaw having a few problems, 8 minutes to go. And it's Andy Ayres going forward. Martin Wood doing likewise. Safety first rugby is the order of the day at the moment. Jason Ramshaw, of all people, knocking on. And 7.5 minutes to go, 6.5 minutes rather. And the scoreline reading Salford 14, Keighley 16, and Panapa going blindside. Having to go on his own, the wingman came in field. This time it's the big man who's substitute going forward. 18 metres away from the Cougars try line. Blakely moving it to Webster. Webster getting away from the tackle. Takes 3 men to drag him down. And the Cougars on the defensive. Holding out as Lee, the hooker, I think, was the man who tried to burrow underneath the try line. This time the ball coming out wide from Blakely. Blakely going on his own, paying the penalty. Referee indicating 6 tackle. Lee will put the kick through. Jason Critchley wisely and perhaps bravely allows it to go dead, and there are 6 minutes of play left. The Cougars fans getting behind their heroes, and Jason Critchley trying to give his forwards a breathing space and make some invaluable yardage. Andy Ayres doing likewise. Ian Gately. Jason Ramshaw from acting halfback getting over the halfway line. 2 tackles to go. Martin Wood at acting halfback this time. Puts the bomb over the top. Could be useful. Oh, brilliantly taken. Good rugby by both sides. Woody saw the opening, saw that there was a gap there, but the wingman closed it up. And it's Salford coming forward. Still though on the Salford 20-metre line, and that's where Keighley need to keep them. Knock on, can Donald Powell get it? There might be a try here. Irving has scored the try! Simon Irving takes advantage of a Salford error and scores the try at the side of the post, and the Keighley multitudes go absolutely berserk. Donald Powell it was who chipped it forward. Simon Irving steadied himself and then picked the ball up as though it was all done with consummate ease. And Simon Irving scores the try. And Simon Irving now to take the kick at goal with 3.5 minutes left to play. Well, if ever a goal was needed, this is one which will just give them the cushion. The Cougars already racing back to their defensive positions. And Simon Irving quite wisely taking his time with this kick at goal. Irving, those couple of paces to the left that we've all grown to know so well, puts the one straight through the middle of the post, and there are just 2.5 minutes of play left to go. (22-14), Keighley in the lead, and that after being 10-0 down in the first quarter. But Salford are in possession. Keighley going to have to stick to this tackling stint. Sam Panaper moving it wide to Webster. Webster loses the ball, and Jason Critchley just drops on it. And the ball out to Andre Stoop. Andre Stoop, 10 metres inside his own half. Andy Ayres coming looking for the ball. Jason Ramshaw just elects to go on his own and get to the halfway line. Chris Robinson insists that he gets to acting halfback. Gives the ball to Power, to Simon Irving. Simon Irving sticks to the ball. 2 minutes to go. Powell looking for Gately. The big man takes the ball. Races into the defenders or into the Salford men. We're inside the Salford half, and this time it's going to be Grant Dury. Grant Dury does well up to the 20-metre line. Chris Robinson, Darryl Powell, both waiting for the ball. Dury. The ball goes to Robinson, and Robinson just bounces the ball into touch. 22-14, the Cougars in the lead, and the scrum down 15 metres from the Salford line. Panaper moving it wide. Simon Irving in at the tackle with the assistance of Darryl Powell. Jason Critchley does well. So too does Ian Gately. A minute left to play, and the ball into midfield. Salford desperate. Might be the getaway. Chris Robinson in at the tackle, but the ball still being let loose by forward to Blakely. Moves it out left. McAvoy is going through. 3 men there to meet him, and we're in sight of extra time. The ball going left. Keighley still tackling, still having to tackle. 10 metres away from the 20-metre line, 30 metres from the try line. The scoreline reading 22-14, and also we've had the 40 minutes. Kick over the top. Critchley does well. Takes the ball. Not only that, gets away. Jason Critchley down the... Oh, that's a bad tackle. That was disgraceful by Webster. And there's trouble out there in the park. But that was a disgraceful tackle by Webster. Jason Critchley, the man who suffered it, took the ball, raced away, put the kick through, and then Richard Webster came across and hit him with the elbow. No, that was a bad tackle, no question about that. Well, how the referee can indicate that he hit him with the elbow and not do anything other than just caution him really does take some understanding. A minute into additional time now. Simon Irving is waiting for Critchley to come round. And certainly the idiot behind me who's shouting, "You dummy, you play acting," should be down there with the guy, because Jason Critchley is hurt, no question about that. Keith Dixon has come on for the last moments. 2 minutes into additional time, and the ball with Simon Irving. The hooter goes, and that's a tremendous victory as far as the Cougars are concerned. Well, that is a magnificent victory, 10-0 down, with Salford looking strong, and the Cougars came back to win a magnificent game of rugby league by 22 points to 14.